Now, I have been a backpack man for many a moon. It's just been the most practical way to move my stuffs around while out on the trail. But with the addition of my Santa Cruz 5010 to the stable, it was time to mix things up a bit, mostly due to this nifty little glove box thingy that the bike comes with, and the generous amount of stuff that you're able to cram into the down tube. And being able to do that made the excessive amount of space that the backpack has largely redundant. Enter the hip pack. Now, I picked this up from Decathlon, and if I must be honest, it was a bit of an impulse buy. But for the exorbitant fee of around about 30 euros, I have been mightily impressed with it. Now, the pack does have a minuscule 2-litre storage capacity. However, the space is fairly well laid out. There are 3 elasticated gauze pouches available for your phone, keys, multi-tool, basically all of the bits and pieces that you don't want to have flopping about inside the pack. There is also one large storage compartment that you can cram in all of that other junk that you like to take onto your trips. Inside the opening flap, there is 2 additional storage compartments. One is a gauze zipper pouch that you can stuff in your wallet, credit card, money, all of those bits and pieces that you don't want to risk falling out unnoticed while you're out on the trail. There is also a small flap pouch available for all of these finicky little bits of spares that will be very difficult to find once you throw them in there with the rest of your junk. The design isn't overly complicated, simplistic, easy to access, practical. The bag is made from a thick polyurethane with a thicker, more canvas in appearance bottom section, and this gives the pack a definite first impression of durability. And after having survived a couple of close encounters with the trail, those first impressions are well founded. And while the pack is reportedly waterproof, I have not yet had the opportunity to test that out. That is, until now. Well, although I wouldn't want to keep that in extended downpour for any extended periods of time, it seemed to have held up on that little test pretty well. So a bit more water resistant, I think, than actual waterproof. The waist strap of the pack measures in at a width of around about 4 centimeters, and it is very comfortable. Now, there is ample length on the strap, should you suffer from a little bit of extra midriff girth. The contact patches of the pack are very well padded, and there are 2 additional pads that run on either side of the spine. These serve to both give you a little bit of extra comfort, as well as to help keep the bag in place, something that this bag does particularly well. I've had very little movement of the pack from side to side as well as up and down while I've been out on the trail. The good folks at Decathlon have also thrown in a 250 milliliter water pouch. Now, although this isn't enough for a full ride, it does provide an added peace of mind should your ride be a little bit longer than anticipated, or it be a little bit hotter than you thought it was going to be. So the pack has all of the main points pretty well covered, except for the glaringly obvious aforementioned 2-litre storage capacity. Now, it would require some very creative packing to keep all of those bits and pieces I have stored on my bike in the actual hip pack. And the fact that the bike lacks a hydration bladder could leave you in a bit of a bind on those rides when you're most likely to need that little bit of extra water. That little 250 ml top-up bladder does help you in a bit of a pinch, but it's definitely not going to save you on a hot summer's day. And although not overly large, the space for me is ample. And most importantly perhaps is there isn't enough space inside this bag for the customary mountaintop rodler. And that leaves me with the choice of either having to ride without one or having to find a mate that is prepared to carry mine to the top of the hill for me, which is incredibly antisocial of me and does nothing for my popularity in the parking lot. It's comfortable enough to wear for a good few hours, water resistant, durable, and it is also available in black to match all of your other riding gear. So you can't really go too far wrong with it. So, is this a practical replacement for the old backpack? Well, no, and it's not even a close thing. But as a pick up and go bag, it does the job really well. It's got enough room to hold all of the bits and bobs I'll need on a short to mid-distance ride, and a bit of extra space should I need to cram a couple of extra stuffs down there. So if you're looking for an easy, cheap and compact way of dragging your day-to-day bits and pieces around with you, this is a damn good choice. But for everything else, get a backpack.